How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a speed garage banger like XCLUB. XCLUB are a duo from Australia. They normally make sort of like hard groove, techno sort of stuff. But they released this really sick speed garage track. Here's a preview of the track and what you'll have made by the end of this video. Put it simply, this track is made of three elements: the piano, the bass, and the drums. Let's firstly start with the bass. Great, so the first thing you want to do is set the project to 142 BPM. You then want to set your scale to A sharp minor, and you're going to start on the root note of A sharp 3. We're then dropping it down to C sharp, which is an octave below, and D sharp, and then finishing again on that A sharp 3. Sounds like this. Cool, so this bass sound is actually a preset for my Speed Garage Volume 3 Serum preset pack. This pack covers all the best Speed Garage basses made from tracks over the past 12 months. It literally covers all the best tracks from Silver Bumper, Interplanetary Criminal, Soul Mash Transit System, and many, many more. So definitely check it out if you want to up your Speed Garage production game. It's also part of the Ultimate Bundle, which means you get all the garage packs from the site for a much, much cheaper price. The link for that is in the description. Anyway, let's continue with the video. This Reese is made slightly different to normally. What we have is the S2 analog model D. We've got that in both oscillator A and B. And we've pitched the first down A by -2 octaves and detuned -42. On oscillator B, normally when we're making a speed garage bass, we sort of do the exact opposite of that, but we haven't. We've kept it at 0 and pitched it down by 1 octave rather than 2, and it creates a sort of different tone. We've then also turned on the filter, NG low 18, put up a little bit of resonance, 58%, and set the cutoff to 316. No effects needed. We come now to the effects. What we've added is an EQ, just taking out anything below 100 Hertz, or 93 in this case. And we've also added a sidechain kickstart. The reason I've taken out the low end with this EQ8 is because I've added a sub layer. This is just straight sub, and this is also a preset from that same pack, Waterfalls, and it's just, yeah, really deep sort of sub layer. This way you can sort of mix in your low end a little bit better than if it's just coming off the one. And yeah, the EQ for that would have taken away anything above 80 Hertz. Great, and that is how the bass is made. Now we're going to move on to the drum. As you can hear, these drums are super fucking fat. Really nice drums with loads of energy. I'll just break it down how each one's done. So we start off with the kick. Obviously, this is hitting on every beat. Standard, fall to the floor, found in house, techno, speed garage, literally every sort of dance music genre. So yeah, these drums are from the Speed Garage Volume 4 pack, although the loop that I've used, the top loop, is from the Speed Garage Volume 3 drums pack. Both of those, of course, can be found from the link in the description. But yeah, let's talk through them. So we've obviously got this kick. And unlike usual, we've got a little bit of processing on it. So I've added this drum bus, put the transient up just to make it a little bit sharper, drive, taking down the trim. But one thing I've done as well, just to add a little bit of boost and take out that low end so we've got more room for the sub. I've taken away anything above 51 Hertz, and I've also put a little boost in. So obviously if you scoop it like that and then you boost it up, you're going to get that sort of boost. And this helps create a bit of resonance and gives the kick a little bit more power to punch through the mix. Cool, so now we come down to the top loop group. What we have is this loop, this from the Speed Garage 3 pack. This is giving like lots of energy and lots of like nice percussive elements and stuff like that. But I thought I needed to pad it out to make it even louder. So I've added a clap and another clap. And what I've done with this clap is pan it all the way left. This one is going down the middle. And this one is going all the way to the right. If I get rid of them. Bring them back. There's just a lot more clap going on, and it sort of helps it really punch through the mix and gives it more of like a snappy, heavy clap feel. I then added this hi-hat. Again, without this, the hi-hats are there, but we want it to really be fat, so one more, and I've added this ride on top. Of course, this is just pumping up and down, so I've changed the velocity so it's pumping. So without these extra sort of high end, and this really helps give it a bit of like more of a driving feel, which they definitely got in their track, and it helps it sit better in the mix. So if I show it with the whole mix, nice. If I take it away, you know what I mean? It's a lot more flat. And so yeah, this is also just a normal hi-hat on the offbeat, but adding more sort of high end helps to really give it more punch. Great, now we've got the drums, we can have a look at the piano. Cool, so if we have a look at the piano notes, I'm by no means a pianist or anything like that. Fingers I can't really, do you know what I mean? If you want to copy these notes, feel free. I used to make piano house as well, so I should technically be good at piano. I'm not, I'm just good at like drawing in the notes, but I can't actually use my fingers. Cool, so the notes are pretty thick chords. I can see they're very stacked up. And so what you can do if you're obviously struggling yourself, say you built a chord like this, then you want to sort of pan it out a bit. So maybe then grab that note, D sharp, drag that down, find the D sharp. And then you've already got something a bit thicker, right? And then you can maybe invert this, flip that down. It's all about sort of building a chord and then inverting sections and that sort of stuff. Or you can invert this one, that's basically what they've done. And then keeping that one up there. So sort of like inverted chords, right? But yeah, you just gotta play around and see whatever sounds good. But yeah, obviously if you want to pause this video, copy it, feel free. In terms of the sound, this is actually a preset from that Speed Garage Volume 3 pack, basically made up of samples of the Baby Grand. So if you go to keys, Baby Grand 2, and this is like played over 3 times, and then I've added some like effects. So I've basically got this LFO changing the fine tune and like loads of reverb and all this sort of stuff, which is being controlled by these. I've also got this cool DJ filter, so a little bit different to a normal auto filter, sort of like a DJ one, if that makes sense. But yeah, if you want to obviously get this, it's from that same pack. If you haven't got this pack, of course, you could use like a standard Ableton Grand. Maybe bring some release. Have a play around with these. Take out some of the low end. I mean, I won't lie, it doesn't sound as good. Add some reverb, maybe drown in some reverb. I mean, it don't sound as good, does it? Let's be real. Try like the Korg. There's all different pianos. It's just like finding the right piano sounds and stuff like that. Cool. And then lastly, just to wrap it up, I've got a couple of effects. So I've got this crowd noise. This just helps a lot fill it out, and I've been using this in my own tracks. It sort of just makes the drops seem like fucking hell. Everyone's like cheering, like this is a fucking banger, even if it's like fake. You know, in Friends they use like canned laughter. It's a bit like that. Like scenes that aren't that funny seem funnier, and that's my sort of perception with the crowd noise. Like drops that aren't like whoa. I mean, even if they are, it makes it seem even more whoa. Like fucking whoa, everyone's fucking cheering. Do you know what I mean? And it helps to fill out a bit of space. It's almost like white noise as well. It just helps to fill out a little bit of the mix. And we've also got this downer. Sort of the standard downer. In this sort of drum interlude as well, we've got like the pre-drop. We've got this auto filter. So we've just got all of the drums, like we're keeping the kick in as well. And we're just gliding in. So sort of fading in. And we've also got this auto filter taking out the kick, which is also fading in, but in reverse. And then just before the drop, it all comes in. So this is a super simple technique you can use on your own tracks just to sort of fill in this bit, because without it, it's kind of just like dead space, right? If you add this in, it gives a list of songs to dance to. Another important thing as well, we have the double hit on the kick. This goes throughout, so at the end of every 2 bars, the kick is hitting double time. This helps to create more of an energy and punch. Great, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned something new. I will see you next week for another video. Always, please comment down below which videos you want to see next. Cheers.